Foothill 40 years, I have a lot of memories about some amazing games and different opponents and everything. But one of the biggest games we ever played, because in those days it was different. We didn't have all the high schools. We only had one league. And if you lost the game, chances are you didn't go to the playoffs because they only took one team. And we had a big game coming up against South High, and they were a very talented team. And we had to play them on their field. And that night, that game started off, and we traded touchdowns back and forth, and the score was up in the 40s, and we were still scoring. And they had a quarterback, which I had to take my hats off to. His name was Troy Ochoa. And he was a quarterback, and he ran for 3 touchdowns, and he passed for 3 touchdowns. He accounted for 6 touchdowns that night and played linebacker on defense the whole game. He was not the prettiest passer or the best runner. All he knew how to do was win, and he had true grit. I took my hat off to that kid because he was one tough critter and hard. We finally, people say, well, if he accounted for 6 touchdowns, they must have beat you. No, they didn't. We beat them. But to this day, I think that's one of the most memorable games in a shootout. And he's the kind of guy, if I had to pick an all-time Foothill opponent team, I'd put him on it. You could take a player like him and put him in all 11 positions on offense, tackle, guard, whatever, and they'd win just because he's that kind of competitor. You know, he was a great athlete, and you have to salute that guy.